Hey guys, it's your Drive Home Podcast. I'm your Drive Home Podcast host, Ryan. This is a pretty special episode. Man, I got so much going on. Unfortunately, I can't really get into it because I am running behind. I have a special guest today. Get into that in a second as soon as I see that he is on. But yeah, I hope you guys are driving safe. Hope you guys are being safe. I have no voice. I was actually sick the past couple days. I think I had food poisoning. I was throwing up. I blew out my larynx. I cannot sing. I cannot hit any high notes. No falsettos coming from your boy over here. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials. Yeah, man, so much going on. Tim, he would have been here, but he is at oh geez, we had a joke about this because we kept saying the wrong thing. He brought this up a couple episodes ago. He's at the Louder Than Life festival, which is like all weekend. He's actually gonna call in, I think, later in the show and sort of get us up to par with things. Let me go ahead and just start this meeting on here. Looks like Jonathan is here, so we're gonna get right into this. Okay. It says it won't let me unmute myself. I think you need to unmute me. Okay. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I apologize. You probably are muted. Hold on one second. There we go. You should be.
There we go.
There we go. All right. All's right in the world now. Jonathan. Okay, you were there for 1 second. Request. I can send a request, but I can't. Okay, there we go. I'm not touching anything else.
Yeah, it then asked me to unmute myself again. It's super weird. Yeah.
Yeah, very wonky, unfortunately. One of these days I'll have it down pat, but unfortunately that's not today. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for being on. Your last name, is it Malm? Is that correct?
Malm like palm.
Malm, okay, all right. I was wondering about that. Yeah, we got Jonathan Malm on here on the show. I just started this thing, man. I was trying to get things together, but this is very unprofessional. I'm a hobbyist podcaster at best. Real quick about this show. I started it late last year. It's called Your Drive Home. I literally just started it while driving and talking to my phone. The whole first season just sounds awful. Eventually ventured into getting a co-host, doing things still audio-based, and then we just very recently started doing video. I have a co-host. Unfortunately, he can't be here today. He's at a festival, the Louder Than Life Festival. I was just kind of discussing that before you hopped on here. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all. It's more of like a heavy metal thing. I think it's in Louisville, Kentucky. A lot of metal bands. Like I think the headliners like Foo Fighters. Kind of mainstream. I know they're like death.
Yeah, like I don't know if they're metal.
No, not really. They're maybe
death metal, like Foo Fighters, you know.
Right. I mean, there's like death metal bands playing, and then Foo Fighters, and I think Weezer maybe. But yeah, man. Thank you so much. I've been kind of hyping this a little bit. I have shared some of your content on here.
Awesome.
Yours and other people similar to you. I had this completely that kind of threw me off with that intro there. I was going to intro you a little better than that, but oh well. Yeah, I just wanted to say you're in Texas, right?
San Antonio, Texas.
Great state of Texas.
Riverwalk, Tex-Mex food, all sorts of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I am here in Cleveland, Ohio. It is a nice day today. Usually it's not. Usually, I apologize. My voice is blown out. I was just kind of saying I actually was sick the past couple days.
Same.
And I went to a concert last night and kind of like blew my lungs out just singing, and I shouldn't have been. And so my voice is a little weird, but yeah, man. Thanks again for being here. I hope I'm recording on here. So I wanted to kind of share a couple of things I know I said it just I've shared stuff of yours in the past, but I want to kind of share some other stuff that you've just so people are aware. Actually, yeah, I'll share this. This is an older one that you did. You've been doing these AI generated memes, and they're hilarious and just brilliant. This one's a little relevant for this season. Steve attends your church. His personality type is football. He's at every men's event, crying during worship. His prayer requests alternate between his struggling marriage and his team's injured quarterback. I thought that was very relevant for right now. I had to share that one. I know that was an older one of the first ones I think you did.
Yeah.
And then you had this one. This was a little bit of a risque one. This was probably my favorite one. Jace attends your church. He has the humor of a pubescent boy. You'll hear him sitting behind you, giggling when pastor talks about a man's duty, and Jesus beckoning us to come. Jace also sorry, dude. It is so funny. I was a little taken back by that one. I was like, whoa, he really went there, huh? But yeah, that was great. That was golden, and I love it. I love the stuff, the content you have, and I just had to have you on here, man. I appreciate you being here once again.
Yeah, I'm definitely down with some risque stuff. I do this other thing on my stories called like what do you mean church edition, and like
Okay.
my current theme is Rick and Morty, which is also very edgy as well. So
Nice. I love it. I love it. So how old are you?
I'm 38, so
Okay.
I'm a
Okay.
wee bit on the upper side of things.
I would have guessed 28. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm 37. I just turned 37. I thought you were much younger than me, in all honesty.
I dress a lot younger than I probably should.
Sure. It is so weird, man. Like how like people, like I don't know. I feel like the older I get, it's harder for me to like guess people's age. I don't know. It's weird. It's like I still feel like
It's weird because you have like teenagers that look old to me,
right.
like the same age as me, and I'm like they're like 17, and I'm like I don't know how to gauge this at all. I feel the
Oh,
exact same way.
oh, for sure. It's insane. It's I don't know what they're feeding these kids. It's crazy. But
Hormones, a lot of hormones.
but yeah, man, it's so great to meet you, man. I love this, and I had some questions over here. So I sent you when I first reached out to you. It was so funny. You were like, hey, send me an email with some details, and I was like, no joke, right then on the spot, I like kind of just on the fly just made all these like because I'm like, dude, this. I will say that this show has a poor reputation of being responsible. I've had pastors on hang up on me. I've had interesting things happen where I just wasn't taking things very responsibly, and yeah, and I'm also kind of in a weird place myself. But yeah, I got some questions here for you. Yeah, you are. I saw that you were verified. Well, actually, I remember you said that you were looking to be verified, and then I see that you are
Yeah.
verified on Instagram. How did you go
Oh, I
about
paid
doing
for
that?
it.
You paid for it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
And it is well worth it, just so you know though.
okay.
Uh Here's the thing that I love about being verified. And it's yeah, it's totally a paid gig, and it's like a
Yeah.
scam, right? But Instagram, like it's almost like it almost turns Instagram into like a freemium game a little bit, where like you get a little bit more enjoyment from it because like my comments tend to be up top on like other posts and stuff. So like I have like viral comments on other people's videos that like they're not even that funny, but just because I'm verified, it gets more attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think people see my direct messages more often. Um, so for that reason, it is worth paying to get verified. Yeah, the right way is to like have a publicist write articles about you, and then you
Be
have like
consistent.
stuff. Yeah, you have stuff about you, but like that's
Yeah.
not really. I don't know. I'm not like because like I have a marketing guy for one of my companies that I run, and he's like, oh, I can. There's like publicists that'll do this for like $10,000. I'm like, I'm not willing to spend $10,000 to get
No.
verified and get a Wikipedia page about
No
me.
way.
So I'll pay the $15 a month. That's well worth it.
That's not bad. That's something I'll have to look into. I did Google, and everything I read was like, oh, be consistent, and like, dude, I don't have time for this. I work full time. I I play
Yeah.
in multiple bands in multiple churches. This is something I do on like the weekends here and there or whenever I can get a chance to do it. And yeah, I just didn't want to go that avenue. But if you're telling me I can pay for it, hell yeah, I'll do that in a heartbeat. Um,
Yeah, they just launched it this year, I think in like January or something, and it's actually worth it. Like I'm not like I was so skeptical. I'm like this is so lame, but like not a lot of people are willing to pay for it, so it still does actually get attention, which is
right,
nice.
right. I gotta do that. I gotta do that now. Yeah, there's a lot of scam accounts of like, hey, we'll boost your page and you'll get like 3,000 followers that are like half of them are just bots anyways. They're not even
Bots.
like real
Yeah.
people. So it makes it look like you have a lot of followers, but you really don't. It kind of sucks, but
And what's funny, the people that are trying to sell you this, like I frequently respond and I'm so snarky, but I'm like, I have more followers than you. Like, don't like, why are you selling this to me when I've and
yeah,
like then they're like, oh, but whatever, and I'm like, never mind. I should stop responding, but I'm always get a bit snarky.
I love it, man. I love this. Yeah. Let me see. I saw that you actually something you posted just yesterday. It was in your story. I'll show this real quick. This was actually I don't even know. It was so funny when you said this about John Christ. I'm gonna say what we're all thinking. Saying John Christ's name feels like I'm taking the Lord's name in vain. There, I said it. So for our listeners, yeah,
I just think it's a funny idea. Like you stub your toe, you're like John Christ, like
it
I don't
is
know. I think
something
that's
that
funny.
you're absolutely right. It was like it unlocked this subconscious thing that I've always been thinking, but never actually said it verbally. Like it is so true about him, and yeah, in every way. I'm a huge John Chris fan. Um, I love I gotta say, man, some of your ideas are up there with his.
Thanks.
Have you ever like considered maybe doing stand up or anything like that or
I build stand-up bits like when I'm like brushing my teeth, and I don't think I have the delivery to make it work, but like
mm,
I really have this one funny. I feel like this bit would kill if someone wants to do it. You can if there's a stand-up comedian, an up and comer, listening to this podcast, steal this bit because I think it's so good. But like I don't know. I think about like comparing ISIS to like an ex-girlfriend. Uh, because like we kind of forgot about them a little bit, but every now and then they like pop up, and you're like, oh, I wonder what they're up to. Like, what are they doing today? And it's always something. No, it's something horrible. But and then you find out that they're like still kind of obsessed with you, even though you don't really think about them, and
right?
you just kind of feel bad for them a little bit.
That's a good one. That's gold. You see,
I
I
feel like
wish
that has a lot of potential there.
that's good. Yeah, those are great ideas. And to me, and I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. All of it. You know, I know Chris is more on the conservative. He's actually more. I wouldn't even call him a Christian.
He's
Uh,
not super edgy, but yeah, he's
more of a
definitely
conservative comedian, if
yeah.
anything. Especially, I don't know if you saw his last special. I was on YouTube. It was mostly political based, some of it race based. So I mean, in all good humor and everything, but it was like
Yeah.
very few churchy jokes that people like. It was more for anyone to pick it up and kind of laugh at. It wasn't for just church folks to think it was funny. But
I
yeah,
think he lost a lot of his church base because of the whole like sliding into girls' DMs stuff,
yeah,
which is totally acceptable in like non-church circles,
right.
but the church world is not okay with that. So
Yeah, that was weird, man. I read an article and it was about some girl that he went on a date with, and they went rollerblading and got drunk, and I guess they like drank straight, like they had like a water bottle like this, but it had just vodka in it, and they just went rollerblading and drunk vodka, and she's like, oh, and I passed out when I got home. I'm like, well, what do you expect? You're drinking a whole thing of vodka. Like, I'm not okay. I get the whole like. I try not to get into political on here, but like you made a decision to go out with the guy. I guess she had a boyfriend. She wrote in there, "Oh, he shook my boyfriend's hand. The guy's not your husband." I don't know. Me as a single guy, I looked at it like, you're free range. You're not married. I mean, that's how I look at it. Maybe I'm a little different, but whatever. Sorry. I know you're a married man and everything, so you can't really get into all that kind of stuff. But that's how I
I'm
look at
I'm
it. Like
steering clear of this conversation.
that's just me. That's just me. Like I, I don't know. Maybe I didn't read enough of it, but that was just what I remember reading. And I was just like, okay, like the dude, maybe he shouldn't be getting wasted. He's supposed to be
I
like,
get it. There's like an assumption assumption that this person is representing churches in a way,
Right.
and that's not behavior. But at the same time, yeah, if there's vodka in a
Yeah.
in a water bottle, I mean, maybe you've just never drank before and you have no idea what to expect, but I get drunk off like a glass of wine, so
Oh,
I'm
sure,
like,
sure, yeah, yeah.
vodka's not gonna, yeah.
That's heavy stuff. That's you're intentionally trying to get, you know, just lit basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Chris. He actually had a video I wanted to play of his real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, do it.
It's actually let me see if I can do this.
Tax return, sir. They say that you alone made over $20 million last year personally. What do you say to that?
I've been very clear about this. Okay, the business made $20 million. It takes a lot of money to do the ministry that we do. It's not what it looks like. Okay, these aren't my. Two of these planes are mine. I flew commercial once. I was in first class, obviously, but the net they have that separates us. It was see through. I could just see the other people back there. I was like, ugh. It's just being in the terminals and stuff like that. I just can't. One time, somebody came up and asked me for prayer.
Sorry, just one more question, sir. Is this plane for your personal use?
Listen, I've been over this. Okay, the custom mountain chalet we have in the Rockies is only accessible through the air. If there was roads up there, we would take a car, but there's not.
What would you say to congregants who have donated money to you who are not rich?
Okay, for the last time, James 1:2, okay? Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. I'm with you, you guys. I deal with the same struggles. This plane, these seats, they don't even fully recline. Like,
what about your tax return, sir?
That was great. That was so funny. Yeah. Yeah, he
It has that was actually the video that made me think of John Christ as a euphemism, but
yeah. Yeah, I like that it's unfortunate. Like, I think that was kind of like embodying what was that who was that? Kenneth
Righteous
Copeland?
Gemstones.
Oh,
Yeah,
that too, for sure.
That like vibe, yeah.
Yeah, and that's funny you brought that up. I love that show. I was actually just watching that show, and but yeah, I think it was kind of rolling around that Copeland guy and how he actually got angry. I don't know if you remember seeing that video, but I think it was like Inside Edition came to him, and they were like, he's just like, "Don't you dare tell anyone." I was just like, "Geez," like, I don't know. I will say I was raised kind of under that type of very conservative Pentecostal. I was raised in the Church of God. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that at all.
Yeah.
It's very, you kind of got like when it comes to the Pentecostal church, you have like the Church of God and then the Assemblies of God. And the Assemblies of God was more of like the almost like less conservative version of it of Pentecostalism or
That's my background.
Okay, all right.
God, yeah.
Yeah, and then like where I grew up, like I've always been a musician. I've always played in church. We couldn't be on the platform without a tie. You had to, unless you had like, I think the loophole was you could wear a sweater vest. So I was like the king of sweater vests. I had like 1 billion sweater vests, and that was how I was raised. Like you have to be like shoes shined, ready to go. Like that's just how I was raised. And honestly, I broke away from that maybe in like 2010-ish. Started getting more involved in like the non-denominational, like the churches that are now everywhere. All these like quote unquote mega churches. This is actually crazy timing for me because this past Sunday was my final Sunday serving at my church. I've brought this up on here. The church I go to, King's Church, it's in Lakewood, Ohio, which is the second most predominant homosexual city. I think it goes San Francisco and then Lakewood, Ohio.
That's crazy.
It is one huge safe space for homosexuals. It's everywhere you go.
That's not where Dave Chappelle lives, though, is it? Isn't he live in Ohio?
No, he's in Ohio, but he's out in the country. He lives out in like I think
because he lives at like a really like gay affirming community as well.
For sure, yeah. I mean, there are those,
Yeah.
and you're seeing a lot of that more today than you used to. Even out when I used to live in Niles, Ohio, which is like basically like just out in the middle of nowhere. It's near Youngstown, and even that area was pretty liberal for the most part. But yeah, Lakewood is interesting, and we actually use the Lakewood Civic Auditorium So yeah, I mean we're very much in the community of Lakewood, and I was there for 7 years. The church, I feel like I can finally talk crap. I hate to say it, but like all these years I've been kind of like just repressing my feelings on things, and I I I
Which is
can't.
always the healthy approach, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah, yeah. I just I felt like honestly, and not to get like overly spiritual or anything, I felt like God was kind of telling me, hey, 7 years, that's a good number. That's that's all you got to do. And I felt this for the past like year or so, like. So yeah, I fulfilled that, and that's that, and I'm probably gonna be moving on. Like I said, I play in multiple churches. It's not like I'm churchless. I have other places I can play. A lot of them are, I hate to say it, strictly financial opportunities. Not exactly church. It's not like the church family that I want. I have like this longing
Yeah.
to like be planted somewhere instead of being like a gypsy going from place to place like I've always done. But until that happens, like the reason why I left my church, I'll say, is I just kind of felt like I wasn't thriving there. It's a brand new church. It started in 2016. I was there from the very beginning when it started.
Yeah.
I kind of helped build the worship team. I used to lead worship there, and then eventually what happened, and I've had other people on. We kind of talked about the same thing through the years. We basically started phasing out the millennials and the Gen Zs, and now I'm seeing more Gen Zs that are like leading and stuff, and us old guys are in the background playing drums or bass or whatever. I was actually playing bass for like 2 years, the past 2 years there, and I'm not even a bass player.
And
But
they had the light kind of pulled down on you, just like
oh,
dimmed down a
I'm in
little
the
bit.
dark. I'm in the complete pitch dark. It was funny the thing that kind of broke it for me a couple months ago. I approached our music director, and I'm like, they had a meeting. Like we have one of those apps that everyone uses. I don't even like those church apps. I forget, like it's like WhatsApp or whatever. But it's not that. I forget what it's called. Anyways, he posted that, oh, we're gonna have like a meeting for the vocalists, and I'm like, okay, well, I used to be a vocalist. No one ever told me I'm no longer a vocalist. So I was like, hey, I can't make the meeting, and they're like, oh, it's just for the vocalists, and he's like, he said, oh, it's just for the vocalists, and I was like, okay, so does that mean I'm no longer a vocalist here? And he's like, oh no, we'd love to have you play sing sometime. I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? Like, and why is there like this weird segregation between the vocalists and the musicians, and you're telling them to like live this? I know what it was. It was a meeting about, hey, watch what you post on social media. Don't post pictures of you. Like, I get all that, but like that should apply to everyone, not just it should apply to the musicians. And yeah, they were really known for like hiring musicians, people that aren't exactly in church. I don't really know where their walk is, but it didn't seem like it was. It was seem like it was more of a job. When you see those type of red flags, I think it's usually time to move on to something else. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Not to make this like a therapy session for me or anything, but this is what I.
Tell me how you feel about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I mean, a lot of your stuff that you post, it resonates with me, and just the things that I've experienced over the past 7 years. You posted something, I don't have it uploaded here, but it was about a girl using too many fire emojis and stuff. Like little things like that irk me. Stuff like, dude, I can't stand it. I can't stand the fire. Oh man. Anyways,
There's a little bit of hype for sure that I think is a bit excessive, because I feel like when you build on hype, you got to maintain on hype.
and it
And
seems forced, right?
sometimes it's just not hype worthy. Yeah, like
It seems
like
forced.
the men's breakfast is not going to be 5 fire emojis. It's going to
No.
be 10 pounds of bacon and a bunch of dudes talking about football, which is all
Right.
right. Like that's great, that's fine, but like
Right.
it's not, gonna be like life changing.
Exactly. Let's not hype and hype everything up to the nth degree. It's wild, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up. I kind of feel like I can finally freely talk about some of the stuff, and I don't even know where to begin with all that stuff. It was just it's just crazy, and it's funny because I've been involved.
Bro, I mean, consider counseling like legit. Like that's one thing that I feel like Assemblies of God and probably Church of God probably put into negatively, is like this, like you can't go to counseling, but like counseling is legit.
Oh, sure, sure, yeah, yeah. I have considered that. I think I mentioned earlier about I had a pastor that hung up on me, and I've always kind of went to people like that to mentor me. And I kind of like I guess counted that as a type of therapy or counseling.
There is
Which
value in that for sure. Yeah.
which is, and what happened with that was when that dude hung up on me while doing this interview, like it was just funny because he was like, I'm like I introduced the guy and I'm like, hey, love what I love seeing, like he does like a ministry with him and his wife. I won't even mention his name, whatever, but they do this like kind of like acoustic, just like free, a lot of outreach and that the kind of thing. I'm like, dude, it's like really refreshing to see you guys do that because like I'm so burnt out from like the church and all the cliche stuff and just seems disingenuous and then like he didn't like how I was talking about the church, so he just got done saying, hey, we love seeing people thrive, and then he hangs up when I talk about me not thriving, and like I was just like, this is weird, like, and like
Yeah.
since then, silence, nothing. No messages. Like he used to like reach out to me because my dad was like diagnosed with cancer, and he'd be like, "Hey, how's your dad doing? Praying for you." And like all that kind of just dried up. And I'm like, dude, just because you disagree with me, like, how about like if you felt I was wrong, correct me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I was wrong saying that about the church or whatever. But I think what
Well, and like there's a reality to understanding like people are going through stuff. Like
right,
I don't need to give you answers. I don't need to fix it for you. Like
right,
that's not my job. My job is to just be like, yeah, I'll listen to you. What's going on?
for
Like,
sure, for sure.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, yeah. It could be a little disheartening. I'm glad that I'm 37. I've been in church my whole life. My faith is certainly beyond. I'm just glad that it wasn't. I hope that down the road he doesn't do that to someone whose faith isn't well grounded, and it because this happens all
Yeah.
the time where people, well, screw church because this person they're not actually this person hurt me, or they're putting their faith in people instead of actually God,
Yeah.
and they're not exactly spiritually mature enough to tell the difference, and it's I'm glad that was not where I was at, but I just hope that doesn't happen to him down the road. And I also know he was more of like a newer pastor. He was really really new to everything. He was about my age, and anyways, it is what it is. But you can't put your faith in people. You really can't.
Yeah.
Anyone listening, like if you're in a situation like that, like don't put your faith in. I hate to say it, like in your pastor. People will fail you.
No,
So,
legit. Yeah. No, I mean, I
so
feel like I have seen a lot of people go through their pastor having like moral failures and like, having an
mhm.
affair. And like, to me, I'm never like thrown off by that. To me, it's like a cautionary tale. Like, okay, that could easily happen to me. Like, thank God I'm not like, frankly, I'm not like popular enough as a mega church pastor to like have girls throwing themselves at me, but like
Right,
pastors legit have that. And I'm like, dude, thank God I'm not in that role. But if I was in that role, man, that could be me if I'm not careful. And
for
like,
sure.
I don't know, to me that's more of like I don't know, it's encouraging in a way whenever I see people going through moral failures because I'm like none of us are perfect and we got to be careful with that and
I like
don't
that.
put our faith in a dude or a dudette like or a girl like because
Yeah,
it is like we are all like that's the way kind of Jesus built the church is we're all like screwed up people and he's like I'm gonna make it where you can't get the glory I get the glory so
right, right.
it's cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
It's not a good thing to say that like moral failures encourage me, but to a degree they kind of do.
I totally get what you're saying there, and I love that. I that's an angle that I never even considered. I love that. I've
I won't
actually
put that on the gram. That won't go over well. But
well, I like the almost the redemption story, kind of the um what's his name? Tony Stark. You know how he well, not him, but the actor, what was his name? Jeez. It's escaping
Robert
me at the
Downey
moment.
Jr. Yeah,
Yes. I mean, he's not to compare him to a pastor, but he was like a well-respected actor who like got crazy and got in all this legal issues and had drug issues and overcame that and had this awesome
yeah.
comeback story. And there's actually a pastor that I covered on here, Jeremy Foster. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He pastored a church called Hope City out in Houston, Texas, and it
Yeah.
was he was great. He was very animated. He was very funny. He was just almost like he was on drugs or something. Like he was like hyped up, just beyond belief. Like he was just let's go. And I think, and he also would admit, hey, I could have been a business person. I could have been a motivational speaker or whatever. I think he was a very good salesman, but he had an issue where he cheated on his wife, and they had like 4 kids, and it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, but that is so true. He is just human, and people that walk away from church, like, I don't know did you see the Hillsong documentary? Oh man, that was hard to watch. I kind of knew a lot of that.
It was
stuff.
interesting. I was really enjoying. I mean, to that same thing, I was enjoying seeing that they got Carl Lentz and just seeing what he's going through on the other. I'm like, I know, and this is a sensitive topic because if there's anyone here who's been like hurt by Hillsong New York, obviously, like I don't know, I feel for him. Like, what he's going through now, he's having to like find his new life, and like he got too big too fast, and the integrity that was under, and just like being abused as a kid, like he had some stuff he needed to work through and didn't get a chance to work through it, and of course that's going to lead to that when you get like, I mean, same thing with, I mean, his friend Justin Bieber, the same thing where it's like you're giving all of this platform, and you don't know what to do with it, and then like of course you're going to go wacky. Like, so for me, I'm like, I really have a heart for the guy. Obviously, not to say that like there were victims in real like pain from what he did, but it's interesting.
Well, yeah, and not to mention, and I'll kind of like echo something Joe Rogan even said about this, was like, imagine, okay, being a pastor, definitely a hard job. Being a celebrity, putting those 2 words together, celebrity pastor, like what? Like, dude, that's got to be pressure that I don't even want to know. I couldn't imagine. Well,
because there's a sense as a pastor that you're like speaking for God, right? So like, like imagine if Kim Kardashian also spoke for God. You're like, whoa, like, the amount of power that person has suddenly, and like it's not good. Like power doesn't corrupt; it just reveals what's corrupt already inside of us. So exactly,
and I couldn't imagine. Man, that's the weight of that has to be tremendous, and I know I've seen a lot of your comments, man. Not to sound like a complete like creep, I'm just like stalking everything you say on other posts, but I mean, I've seen stuff where you've said like, you know, once you're on staff somewhere at a church, you're kind of like wish that you weren't, or I forget what you said. Someone was talking about like, oh man, you go ahead. You look like you had something to say there.
No, I don't even remember what you're talking about.
I'm trying to remember. It wasn't your post. It was someone else's post. I forget. No. I don't know if it was like Taylor Ransom's post or someone like that.
Oh yeah. No, I think it might have been like volunteers always trying to get on staff, and like like it's probably not going to happen because if you're giving such good stuff for free,
right,
and everything's getting taken care of, why would they hire you?
Exactly.
Like, unfortunately, that's the reality. I've seen a ton of people that like they're like putting their heart and soul into like you know, kids ministry, and then they're like, why won't they hire me? And you're like, well, because they don't need you, because they already have you.
You're already there, and that was
and I get both sides of it, like
it's
not like the church is like trying to be like you know, but like I also get it.
I know what you mean. I've been there. That's another thing, kind of going with my my whole church trauma with my most recent experience was something I remember. Okay, so I remember like specifically having like a texting conversation with our pastor, and he was like asking me, because he knows I've played at multiple churches, and he's like, hey, how available are you? This is I think pre-pandemic. He was like, what do you do at your other church? It was just like weird random questions, and then like you see those 3 little dots move and then they disappear, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, finally, he's like, well, we got some stuff coming up, I'll let you know. And then like nothing ever came up. Nothing ever came out of that. And I continued serving, you know, either way for free. There was one time where we had this special guest come in to speak, and this was kind of a dirty thing, but so these other churches I play at, I'm used to getting compensated when I'm there on those like I have a very specific schedule for each Sunday. If it's a 4-week month or a 5-week month, I have it down where I'm at this church. I'm very spread pretty thin, and the situation was they had the special guest. Their issue at this church was they don't have a full team, and they were wanting to know if I could play on a week that I would be normally playing at another church. And I almost, me being Mr. People Pleaser, Mr. Just Yes Man, I almost was like, oh yeah, sure. But I went, wait a second. I was like, I'm losing money by doing this because I'm going to go there and they're not going to pay me. So I was like, hey, listen, if you guys need me to play, like, I need to get compensated for it. Like, this is not my week to play. And they're kind of like acted a little bitter about it, but they did pay me once I put it out, once I laid it out like that. And that was the only time they ever paid me. It was that one weekend that I filled in when I was like, dude, like, hold on, like, I'm not gonna, what's the expression? Cut off my nose to spite my face or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that even fits there. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of a dipshit, man. I'll
so
be honest
old.
with you. Yeah. But I did most definitely experience that, and they were getting my services for free, so I kind of had to nip that in the bud, man. I mean, that's not. I didn't do it like in a mutiny type of way or anything, or any bitterness or anything. I was just like, listen, 7 years, enough is enough.
Yeah,
and it is what it is. So that's actually the
I
newest.
mean, honestly, boundaries are one of the healthiest things you can set. Like, I feel like
Right.
I love my church, and so they'll ask me to do something, and I'm pretty happy to say no. Like, actually,
Yeah.
and it's not a matter of like when I do help, when I can say yes, I'm like all in, right? Like, I'm like, yes, you have all of me. But then I'm like, no, I just can't do that. And that's okay. Like, I'm not mad that you asked, and you're not gonna be mad, hopefully, that I said no. Like,
Right.
if you
Right.
keep asking me, I'm not. This is not like an end of the conversation thing, but I just can't do that. And like,
Right.
I feel like people need to learn. I know some churches, there's this kind of like weak leaders tend to like make you feel bad for saying no, but we all need to learn how to say no, because and it sucks because like weak leaders will be like, oh, you're saying no a lot, are you not in, are you not all in, are you not like on board, and like that's not what it's about at all.
Right.
But
Or they'll
it's tough if you're not like
you'll get like guilt tripped into something. I talked about this a couple months ago. I was helping out a church. It was a brand new church plant called Real World Church. I'm like, okay, it sounds like something MTV, Real World or whatever. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like very young and raw and
energy. Yeah.
potentially maybe lean a little left. I don't know. And I get there and it's like, no offense to like any of my older listeners, but like 60s plus, like it was older crowd. They wanted me to do like hymns and stuff. I'm like, what? This does not reflect the name. I guess like you can't read into the name of a church too much, because I'm like, and they're a brand new church, and they're like, well, we want you to play like some of the Hillsong stuff, and we like that stuff. And I'm like, really? Because like after that, like they would have, it's like,
So you pull out "Shout to the Lord" from the '90s, and they're like,
oh,
yeah!
very much. Oh, very much. I think I was doing like a Mighty to Save stuff from like early 2000s, stuff like that. And then they would have like, I was raised in an old school church, so I knew they were old school when they had someone come up and sing a special after I was done.
Oh, the special.
Yeah, they had the sister so and so come up there and do a special, and that was fine. I think actually what it was they were doing the I knew the song. I grew up playing Southern gospel, and and I hated it, absolutely hated it, but I know how to play it. So their track wasn't. They were using a track and it didn't work, so I had to actually play it on. I just picked it out on guitar, and it was the Lighthouse. I don't know if you ever heard that song, very old Southern gospel song. I don't know if you're familiar with. I thank God for the Lighthouse. That's very old in traditional music, but yeah.
So I was a missionary kid. We were missionaries in Guatemala, and we would come back to the U.S. and like do the church tour. And my mom had a CD that she recorded in Guatemala, and so we were those people that like my mom would do the special, and then my dad would get up and talk, and it was
nice.
Like very, I don't know, like we were like Righteous Gemstones, like the trappings of it reminds me of my upbringing, but like we were like, my dad is like, my mom and dad both are like legit love God, not like they're not about that like abusing money stuff, but like
right.
It's just funny because the trappings of it all feels so familiar.
Right. I'm glad you brought the Gemstones up again. I forgot to get into that. Yeah, I just actually finished the second season of that the other day. That is a wild show. I don't know if did you watch all of it, the second season, or?
Oh yeah, I'm all caught up.
I don't know if it almost seemed like they're gonna maybe end it. I don't know. It's almost starting to fall apart a little bit. Like it's not as funny as the first season was. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe the
Yeah.
writing isn't as good.
Well, so I think they just finished their third season actually,
Oh,
right?
did they? Oh,
Like
was that what
the
it
third
was? Okay.
season.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it was where they kidnapped. Not to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that's third season. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna keep going or like they kind of finished a lot of stories that were kind of brewing for a while.
Yeah, it is a weird show because like what's the fan base on that show? Like it has to be just people that kind of grew up in church or maybe are familiar with the church at least. I mean, cuz have it on like such a
People hate the church because it kind of like roasts like Lakewood and like
mhm.
I mean, it roasts a lot of things that people
True.
really hate about the church. So,
True.
but usually probably people who've had like a history with church, which is a lot of people.
Right, right. Yeah, I think it's a funny show. I can't recommend it to anyone, especially non-believers. Maybe people that are in the
Yeah.
same level as I am, or at least where I'm at in the same headspace. They kind of get it. But to someone that doesn't get it, they'd be like, "Wow, this is how church is." And even same with the
I
Hillsong
mean,
doc.
to me, yeah, but to me, it's like, okay, so like a serial killer show, right? Like they're not saying all white men are serial killers. Maybe some people feel that way, but like, so I like to me a show that's about like abuse of Christianity is not. I don't take that as all Christians are abusive. There is like a
Mm,
certain segment of it that is abusive, right? And like
right,
I
right.
feel like that's what I do with my Instagram. Like I poke fun at the bad parts about it, but understanding that there's a whole bunch of good and like you just I feel like in general, like in our culture, we throw out we have a hard time with nuance. So it's either like all evil or all good.
Mm,
Like someone is, Kevin Spacey is an amazing actor. Now he's trash because, like, and there's a reality to like he's abusive. So like
right.
but like, I don't know, you can't throw away everything good that the person does just because of all the evil they've done. I think when you look at any historical figure, you're probably not going to be able to see them as a hero because of they probably have some stuff in their past.
For sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I think that's like an understanding of like which is kind of like a Christian tenet that like we're all screwed up and we're all like
Right.
10% evil, like and we got to get that
Right.
out of us because
Yeah.
that's why we need Jesus. But
Right.
I don't think we like to think that. I think everyone thinks that they're kind of good, and I'm like, you're like you're 2 inches away from doing the exact same thing that person did, probably.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I know people said the same thing. Do you remember the movie Dogma back in the day, a Kevin Smith movie?
Yeah,
Where I think that's his name, Kevin Smith. Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah,
was also another very at the time in the 90s, it was very controversial. Like it was, oh, we're making fun, especially in the Catholic Church, like, oh, the Catholic Church is very like they hold things sacred like that. Like don't talk
yeah,
like about like God's Alanis Morissette. Like what? Like no, this is not right. Like they were
yeah,
very offended by that. But me being like not Catholic, I guess I didn't think anything. I thought it was hilarious. George Carlin at the beginning when he's like
yeah,
they got the Buddy Christ. I mean that was gold. That was gold. But
yeah.
yeah, that's a great show. Maybe to kind of switch gears here. I don't know how long we've been on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But maybe to switch some gears here, lighten things up a little bit. I'll ask them other questions I got here. So what is a restaurant that everyone loves but you hate?
Olive Garden.
Really?
Yeah, like 100%. Like, and I have a really good friend that like he owns like stock in Olive Garden. He's like diehard Olive Garden.
Yeah.
It's just not Italian food, and like I guess it's fine, but like I feel like Italian food is so delicious, and
Yeah.
you just it's not that. So like Taco Bell, for instance, like Taco Bell is not Mexican food, right?
No.
Like, I like Taco Bell, but I don't feel like it's bastardizing Mexican food. It's just like doing its own thing, kind of.
Right.
But like Olive Garden, like pretends it's Italian, and you're not Italian,
Not
and
at all.
it's
No.
like it's a travesty of Italian food. That's my take. I don't know. I would eat there, but like also there's like this like I see. So I feel like I grew up in a small town, and I was always excited about chain restaurants because we didn't have chain restaurants in a small town.
Okay.
And now that I live in a big city, I'm like chain restaurants, boo. So like there's like
Yeah.
this snobbery in me a little bit that I'm like, you got to find local restaurants and like so there's like the fact that Olive Garden is this state conglomerate
Right.
restaurant, and the fact that they're doing that. At the same time, again, I'll crush some Taco Bell, so I'm not above that, but I do like a little bit more like good quality food and like
Right.
chefy stuff. So yeah.
I've heard it. I've heard Olive Garden described as the McDonald's of Italian food. So that might be a good analogy. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like they overcooked the pasta, which like, and to their credit, like they tried moving away from overcooking the pasta, but like their customers didn't like it. So,
Yeah.
uh, what are you gonna do? Like they're serving a group that likes fake Italian food, so I get
Basically,
it.
yeah. It's an Americanized version of it. It's not like I from what I understand, like actual Italian cuisine is usually like overly saucy. They don't use like it's very well proportioned. It can't be anything like it. I agree, but I'm actually not.
Yeah,
Are you Italian? Or are you any
not
ethnic?
French, more like well, like Louisiana French, like Cajun Creole kind of.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, we're just white people up in here. Yeah, I'm well. Actually, believe it or not, my mother is Puerto Rican. I know I'm white as a ghost, especially
nice.
in this sunlight. But I got a little Hispanic in me. But
Do you like Puerto Rican food?
oh, I love it. Yeah, my mom actually cannot cook.
Mofongo and yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, really?
my mom doesn't cook so much, but my 95-year-old grandfather, who's full-blooded Puerto Rican, he's still to this guy. I don't know how long. I don't know if he's trying to get some type of world record because the other day he was out there, literally redoing his entire porch at 95 years old. He was outside just
Wow.
he's like, oh, I just take my time, and he's just ripping up boards. And I'm like, what? 95, dude, and it was like hot. I'm like, dude, you need to drink some water. Oh no, I know, I'm strong. I'm like, okay, that's good mentality, man. I mean, that's
I do feel like, and like, debatably, like Puerto Ricans are not immigrants because they're like American citizens, but like, I
right.
feel like immigrants in general are like amazing people. Like my wife and I were talking about we need to go to Miami soon because we love like Cuban food and
Oh
like
yeah,
Miami is like an immigrant town.
yeah, it's
And so
great.
like, but you have these people like driving cabs that used to be doctors in Cuba, or like, you just have
Yeah,
like this work ethic that is like non-existent, I feel like, in most of the US. And I like that vibe.
yeah, yeah. I was just thinking. Well, I'm actually going to Florida on Columbus weekend. So I'll have a few days off. I have not been anywhere out of Ohio in 3 years, so I need to get
I
out of
mean, hit
here.
up Miami. You get Cuban food. You have Little Italy on Miami Beach. You have
Yeah,
like Argentine food. Apparently, Argentines have taken over there. Like, I'm down with some Miami. Florida's like largely like redneck central, but like Miami is its own little pocket.
oh, for sure. Yeah, we were in Miami. I want to say it was probably like 2018. Me and my family, and it was just crazy to walk into like a Burger King and they sell beer in there. Like what? Like this is just a different world over here. Like it's interesting, but it's a nice getaway. I need to get away from Ohio. It just sucks here. It's always cold and it's already like we're already looking at fall. I mean not fall, but like cold weather. Like we're at like 50 degrees, 40
We're still at
degrees.
98, so I would trade
Yeah,
you a little bit, but I get it. Like I also get it. Like I enjoy the cold because we get so little of it that like
right.
I really enjoy it. But that's because we're always dealing with 98-degree temperatures. So
Yeah, yeah. We wait. Well, it sucks because we wait all year for like 2 months of decent weather, and all summer we either had smog coming in from. It was like you couldn't even breathe outside because we had all those fires coming in from
oh
Canada,
yeah.
and literally the days it was finally nice out, you couldn't even go outside because you couldn't breathe. So it was like, man, we really truly got robbed of a summer here in Cleveland. Like, and half the time it rained. It rained. We had so many like I don't know if you probably didn't see, but we had like a flooding, and
Oh wow.
we had a tornado come right off of Lake Erie downtown. Like it has been insane, very end times, Book of Revelation ish stuff happening here in Cleveland. That's the first thing people start saying. Oh, the world's ending. The world's ending. I'm like, okay. Uh, anyways, I don't know how you feel about that, but that's a whole nother thing to unpack. I guess I'll go ahead and give my
Yeah,
answer.
let's talk about the end
Yeah,
times.
let's go in that. Let's really get in. No, I actually
Let's
wanted
get
to.
let's keep deep in that.
Right. I wanted to say, going back to the question I asked you, my restaurant that everyone loves. I don't even know if they have it there where you live. Melt Bar and Grill. Are you familiar with this place? I thought it was
No.
it must be more of a Ohio thing. It's basically they are grilled cheese sandwiches, but with crazy stuff. Like you can get one with like
Uh,
chicken parmesan on it, like with spaghetti on it, like this crazy looking sandwich. It's huge. When it first
Yeah.
came out, it was amazing. Everything was fresh. Like you were saying, once it became more of a chain here in Northeast Ohio, went way downhill, way downhill. They started
oh yeah.
they started using cheap ingredients. Last time I went there, my whole family hated everything they got. I got like a Philly cheesesteak, which is kind of hard to mess up. It's just it's just basically like that would be perfect on a grilled cheese. You
Cheese
think?
and
Like,
steak.
yeah, come on. It
Yeah.
just was not good, and like the fries were like you could almost wring out the oil in the fries. They were so like gross and dirty.
Here's my thing. If we're talking about like subpar and going downhill, what are your feelings about Panera?
Panera, overly priced hospital food. That's what that is. That's overly priced.
It's exactly what it is.
It is oh man, I hate to even say this, but I had Panera and I got sick. That's actually how I got sick the other day. So yeah, that
Oh man.
I had okay, so not to be gross, I know we just met and everything, but I had soup from Panera in my fridge. I think my refrigerator is going bad because the past couple gallons of milk that I've bought have went bad before they've expired. Like way before, like days before. I'm like, oh, I gotta pour it out. Well, I bought this soup from Panera. It was, it was what was it? Chicken tortellini, and that's got like some spice to it. Smelled okay. At least I couldn't tell because it was so spicy. I microwaved it. Almost immediately, I felt sick. Like almost immediately, and I'm like, okay, let me just go to bed. This is like a couple nights ago. I wake up, I'm throwing up. Yesterday, I wake up throwing up all day yesterday. That's why my voice is completely gone today because it just burnt it out. And all the screaming at the show I went to last night. But yeah, that was that strikes a nerve with me. Thanks for bringing that up. That was a little
Let's
traumatic.
talk about the last time you had food poisoning.
That's basically what I had, man. And it's no good. So I don't know if I'll be going to.
Wait, but how long was it in your refrigerator that it would have come bad?
Maybe 2 days. That's why I was like, there's no way that I don't know. All I know is I ate
No,
it.
I think that's Panera's issue. I don't think that's your refrigerator's issue.
Maybe because I'm like, it's not. I don't know. It's an old fridge. It doesn't say like what the temperature is or anything. So I cranked it up when my last thing of milk went bad. So you're probably right. It probably is them. I won't be going back. But yeah, they're really big in Cleveland. Just along with Melt and all those other places.
I feel like they were solid like 10 years ago, and then it transitioned to like mediocre hospital food. Like
Basically.
mediocre hospital, not even like good hospital food.
Oh.
Like, it's like, like,
You go to the Cleveland Clinic here, they got like good food in their cafeteria. I mean, they got actually their soup is really good. They got like lobster bisque and stuff that Panera doesn't even have. Actually, it's like really good. But yeah, let me see another question I got for you. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you're a movie person. Are you? You like movies? Are you more into TV shows or?
I'm more a show person lately,
Okay.
but I have crushed some movies in my past, so it might be some deeper cuts if we're talking movies.
Okay, so what is your all-time favorite movie quote?
Oh, movie quote. Crap.
Yeah.
Probably something from Mystery Men. Let me see. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Yes.
That's
Paul
one of my
Verhoeven.
all-time favorites. Yeah. Oh yeah. R.I.P. Man, I can't think of quotes right now.
I know it's
Yeah,
hard.
or maybe something from Nacho Libre. Probably that they don't think I know a buttload about the gospel, but I do know a buttload about the gospel.
But I do.
Maybe that's it. Or something from White Chicks, maybe. I don't know. Those are all like solid quote movies.
Me too. All my favorite quotes are from comedies. Tommy Boy is one of my favorite movies of all time. The line where he says, I need your John Hancock, and he says it's Herbie Hancock. I don't know. I think that's funny. I laugh every time. obviously the scene where he's with the chicken wings and he does the Tommy Likey, Tommy Wingy. I don't know if are you familiar with Tommy Boy? Please tell me you are, because I feel like an idiot.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it once or twice, but I don't know if I'm like recalling that. I think my problem with Tommy Boy is that there was also another movie with Chris Farley and David Spade
Black
that's
Sheep.
like really similar.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like pretty much the same movie, but like and so I like get confused which one's which.
They should have, and I was just having a conversation with my friend last night. They should have made that Tommy Boy Part 2 and just made it, because it was more about like his.
It basically was.
Right. The storyline was way different, because the other one he didn't have a brother, and this one he did, who was into politics. I was like, they should have just, he had a long lost brother. This is Tommy Boy Part 2. It's one of my. I was a huge Chris Farley fan when I was a kid. I was like totally heartbroken when he died. I was like 10. I remember when I heard it on the radio that he passed away. That makes me feel so old. Say, I heard it on the radio.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio.
That's how I learned it. I heard it literally on the radio that he had passed.
I heard it through the wire.
Right, I heard it on the that
Got the telegram.
Yeah. But that wasn't the greatest question, but yeah,
I fumbled that question. I'm sorry. That was not on you. That was 100% on me.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one on the spot. That's rough. So I had another kind of venturing back into church stuff, kind of a lighthearted question, and I just had this like epiphany the other day. That's what made me write this question down. What do you think? So obviously, like, how did we get here? That's a whole thing to unpack, like as far as the modern day church goes, like. But I just want to know this. Who started the countdown before service? Who started this? Because I was like sitting there the other day and I'm like, 30 seconds. Like, we really have to wait this 30 seconds? Like, is it necessary? I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those weird inner monologue things I was having. Like, who started this? Who was
I think it was youth groups.
Definitely a youth group thing.
I think there was a good purpose for it. Yeah. I think there was a purpose for it in that, like, you're talking out. It's basically worship leaders that really care about the countdown. Because, like,
for sure, yeah.
I get it. I was a worship leader, and like when everyone was still in the lobby, whenever worship started, and there was like 10 people that were available to like sing, it felt like a bummer, right? So we're like, we got to do a countdown so people stop talking,
right.
Which is like dumb, because like that's kind of the whole thing of church is like fellowship and community, and like we're like, stop talking so you can come into service and sing our songs.
Right,
like, so the reason for it was like there was a valid reason, more for my ego than anything else, but I think there was a valid reason for it. But yeah, now it's kind of awkward sometimes.
It is.
Although I also have been to churches that will start like they'll just totally like avoid the countdown clock, and then like there'll be 30 seconds left on the timer and they'll just start, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. Like you can't just like start early, because also that like sucks if you like made it to church on time but then it's already been going. You're like, wait, what? Like I do think there's something to be said for like being punctual and like starting on time, like not early or late, but yeah, it's weird.
I know a lot of churches who they do the countdown, but they do it 5 minutes after the service is already supposed to have started. So it'd be like you have a 10 a.m. service, it'll be 10:05, and we're doing a minute and a half countdown. Like, people, is it to accommodate people who are just habitually late? Is that what it is? Like, because I know it is frustrating when you have service. And like, typically, like me being on stage all the time, I look out, first service, the first song, no one. But by the end of the worship set, it's like by the end of the worship set though, it's completely packed. So is it an effort to get more people? Because I think when we do this, it causes people to just becoming, they know that you're going to be 5 minutes late, so they're just going to come 5 minutes later. So it's actually counterproductive. It doesn't actually help at all, and we're just pushing back. I don't know. I just had that thought the other day. I'm like, who started this? How did we get here? Like,
there's been one time where I was volunteering at Fellowship Church in Dallas, actually, that huge church. And like they intentionally started 10 minutes late, but because there was like massive traffic on the highway, and I'm like, okay, that's a valid reason to start late.
Yeah,
like you actually are respecting people's time. But like when you intentionally start late, I feel like you're just like disrespecting people's time. I feel like volunteer people do that a lot, like volunteer coordinators. they'll be like, okay, we really need people at 10:30, so let's be here at 10:20. And I get it because like my in-laws are Hispanic, so we'll tell them like an hour earlier than when we need them to be here because then they actually show up on time.
Yeah.
But like that's like that my wife can do that to her family. I'm not gonna do that. But like I'm not gonna do that to a volunteer who's like giving up their Sunday to like, be here and basically be an unpaid employee. So
Right. Yeah, man. That was just a thought I had, man. Just one of the great wonders of the modern day church and how we got here, and that's a whole like I said, that's a whole other thing to unpack right there, like how we got to, and it definitely did come from a youth group thing. I remember back
I've done with a hype video before. There's like Lakewood does this, which I know a lot of people have negative feelings about Lakewood. I actually kind of like it, the church, but
yeah.
they do this like I don't know, like it's gonna be like a minute video of just like cool visuals, and it's that Gunger song, "Beautiful Things," and it's just like you make beauty, and it's like just kind of hypes you up, and then worship starts. I'm like, I like that because it almost like builds anticipation instead of like a countdown that's just like
Right,
you're just like waiting there, like while it like counts away, like I can count, like I know, like,
right.
but like I'm down with that.
Yeah. I like that. I like that too. I think there's a time and place for that stuff. I think like if it's like a conference or something to hype up the experience. But I almost feel like every Sunday doing the same thing, it kind of loses its effect a little bit. And so the other church that I help out at, it's actually my parents. It's not their church, but they're like the music directors there. So like I play drums there twice a month, and they do that very thing that you described. They'll start service, like they'll do the countdown, and then like it's really weird on the live stream because like the live stream goes live, and then there's just no one on stage for like 5 minutes, and then like just,
so they don't have the visual up on the live stream. It's just the stage.
Well, I mean, they'll have like the countdown with like an image or a video, and then right when that countdown ends, if they just go to the stage, and they, I mean, they don't have a lot of people helping. They got like really young kids doing it, and like I get it. I mean, the only leg up that they have on everyone else is they've been broadcasting since before the pandemic. Like a lot of churches were kind of forced into that during the pandemic. You had to like go live, and as crappy of as it looked, you just had to do it, And they have been doing live stream for like, oh geez, not TBN, but there's another local station that's kind of like I can't remember what it is, but they do this thing called Ask the Pastor. It's pretty well produced. I think it's in Akron, Ohio. Anyways, the pastor at that church, my parents' church, he's very involved with that. So they have people from their production team kind of helping. So it looks legit. They have everything is in HD. It looks great. Yeah. It's just the church doesn't have it together. It would be great if they just had it together, but they don't. And it sounds great. They're using triggers on the drums. They're using everything sounds up to par and where it should be, except for the quality. And I don't want to talk too much about them because they're actually really good people. Like, I love them and everything. It's just they're that type of family church that they're such nice people. They just ain't got it together. You know what I mean? Like,
to be honest though, like that's kind of what I was talking to my pastor actually yesterday about this. That I'm like, dude, I want a freaking potluck dinner. Like I really want to go to a pot. Like we're a modern church. We're millennial, like more all millennials and Gen Z, and like we're like all anti potluck, anti establishment. Like don't be the traditional church. I'm like, dude, I could crush some hymns and a potluck. Like that's what I want. And we were joking about that. He's like, yeah, dude, potlucks are like where it's at, but we still haven't done it. We just don't like we're portable. We don't have like a place to do a potluck dinner. But like I'm like, so that's what I'm like. I like. That's what you're talking about, like great people. I just want to go to a place with like great people and just like you can like hang out, and it doesn't have to be perfect. The music can kind of be like really bad, and I'm okay with that as long as it's like my bro up there that I'm like, yeah, you go, man. Like
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's it's just a different style of church. And I think where they're in North Ridgeville, which is like kind of out in the country area on the west side of Cleveland. And it works for, the demographic of people that come in there. It really, it works for them. It's not exactly my style. It's kind of like almost going back to how I was raised. Only there.
You're still like, I feel like rebelling a little bit against that. Like, I'm ready to go back to that. Like,
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of people that are like a little bit like, not burnout, but they're like, the mega church movement was cool. Like, like, I just want, I just want to like again, I just want to potluck and like
Yeah.
I want to I want to eat like Sister Susie's nachos. Like just make some nachos and let's just all talk over these nachos. Like
Yeah.
that'd be fun for me.
It is good stuff. I love it. I do not. You're absolutely right. I think a lot of why I have been involved in these kind of mega churches, whatever, is because yeah, it was a little bit of a rebellious thing, not wanting to be in just the same thing. Well, not only rebellious, but just getting just tired of. Maybe that is rebellion too, but like just getting tired of just the same things. Like I said, like just not having it together.
Yeah.
Like it could be great, you know what I mean? This could be. Let's take this to the next level, but not too far. I don't want it to be to the point where
It's a pendulum swing. It's a pendulum swing, like where it's like
yeah,
I think you had this toxicity in old school churches where it's like everyone was in each other's business, and like if you didn't like toe the line, then you would get kicked out, and like
right, yeah,
there's a lot of like manipulation. And then megachurch movement came along where you're like, yeah, just come as you are. Like you
hmm
don't have to, we're not putting a lot of pressure on you. And then suddenly megachurches became all about volunteerism, and so that same toxicity that was in the small churches kind of eked its way into the mega churches, and now
mm,
people are like, well, now I don't want to be like forced to volunteer. I just want to be able to go to a church and just bring my queso dip and let's just all like hang out after church. Like,
yeah,
so it's like it's kind of like the same things creep, the same flaws of humanity creep into any style of church that we create because we're humans.
mm.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love that. That you make some good points there. Yeah, that is. Oh, man, so many things come to mind when you say all that. It's so true. Yeah, it's yeah, I think yeah, it's almost like where's the love sometimes, but yeah, I'll like going back to my parents'
As
church.
as as the philosophers, the Black Eyed Peas once said.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I do. I have even caught myself in moments where I'm like trying to make things too, at least musically, I want it to go right, and I just want it to be good, and I'm like almost like being too demanding on other people, and some of them are
Yeah.
like young and just don't get it, and I'm like, man, and like sometimes that toxicity will rub off on you, and you won't even realize it, and you're like, dude, I need to check myself because
And I get it. Like you're a musician. Like it's art for you, and you love
sure,
it, and like you want it to be excellent. Like, and so I think that's the thing. Like, there's place for excellence. There's a place for just like letting family be family and it not being excellent.
yeah.
And it's not one or the other. It's both, or it's some hybrid that's going to be impossible for us to find.
Right. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing you just kind of have to like check yourself on. That's because me, I can get overly like almost start to get pissed off. I'm like, dude, just no. Like, it's not
Yeah.
worth getting. Don't lose your salvation over it. Like, seriously, it's not. It's not that deep. But sometimes you can't help it, and that's just how you're.
Well, and like and Jesus was like the thing he talked about probably more than anything was just like getting along. Like the disciples were like all trying to do their own thing. And it's like, dude, just get along, guys. Like that's what he said so much over and over again. And it's like we're gonna worship Jesus by like being pissed at our bass player because he couldn't hit the right note. And
Right.
like
Right.
that's kind of missing the point.
It really is, yeah, yeah. And I could go on and on about it. I won't. I know we've been on about a little over an hour, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But yeah, man, I just really wanted to hop on here and kind of get to know you a little bit and meet you and everything. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Anything that you would like to plug or anything outside your Instagram or any other socials? Um,
I mean, if you're dealing with burnout, I got a book called Don't Burn Out, Burn Bright. It just came out, but if that's what you're dealing with, if you feel like burnout is something you want to stay away from, which I think most people want to stay away from,
yeah,
check it out. But yeah, that's about it. Follow me on Instagram. I like just like you reaching out. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like I love talking to people in the DMs, and
yeah, man.
uh, it's just fun.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're busy. I know you're dad, right? You got kids, and
Yeah, I got a toddler. Yeah, he's fun.
yeah, man, you got your hands full. So, but dude, thanks again. I'd love to have you on again sometime. And yeah, thanks for coming on, my man.
Yeah, good talking.
All right, man. I will stay in touch with you, and you have a great rest of your day. All right.
You too.
All right. That was Jonathan Malm. Yeah, so thank you, Jonathan, for being on. That was awesome. That was a great conversation. Thank you again for being on. And I think I got Tim over here um, reporting live from. Let me see here. He's been blowing me up while I was interviewing Jonathan. He says he sent me a bunch of videos. He's sent me some pictures of him in front of a Foo Fighters mural. Let's see. Let me see if I can download this stuff and show you guys. Right here. So here's Tim. This doesn't look so good, but whatever. There's Tim in front of this Foo Fighters mural. That's the best I could do on the fly. Looks really weird, but whatever. But he's having a good time. So yeah, maybe I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Maybe we can get Tim to do a little live stream with us. So hang on. All right, and we are back on your Drive Home podcast. I don't even know if I introed the show right at the beginning of this. I'm looking a little less like Casper the friendly ghost now that the sun has shifted a little bit. Man, I was looking white, like straight out clear on that last segment with Jonathan Malm. Thanks again for being on the show, Jonathan. I am currently awaiting for Tim to hop on. He is at the Louder Than Life Festival. He said he's getting ready to see Coheed and Cambria. Yeah, sounds like a good time. I would love to be there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun having Jonathan on. Can't wait to have him on again. Tim said he was going to hop on, and now he's not saying nothing. And all right, finally. Dude, hold on. You can't hear me? Yeah. Sounds great. Yeah, man.
Dude,
I'll type in the. I'll type
it's
in
like I can't hear you, dude. I ain't got no headphones.
How you guys doing?
I'm telling you, this is. I ain't been to a festival ever, dude. It's been awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
Royal blood. Royal blood. I'm waiting for Coheed, dude. I'm waiting for Coheed to show up.
Nice. That's
I don't know if
awesome.
you'll be able to use this for the podcast. I'm actually waiting for Coheed and my brother to show up.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're having a good time. I know you can't hear me, but yeah, this is awesome. You should
Sick, bro. Sick. It's been awesome.
send me some videos of
Tomorrow I'll bring my
Cody.
headphones so we can talk a little bit. I mean, if we want to like talk later on tonight, that's cool too, bro.
Yeah,
Probably
man.
can't hear shit. Can you? Give me a
Call
thumbs
me-
up if you can hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've lost your video and everything.
Thumbs up if
but-
you can hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't even see you now. I don't know why, but but anyways, I don't know what happened. You like disappeared on me. Can't see. Yeah. There you go.
Steelers.
Yeah, call me later, man.
Ran into a Browns fan.
There you go. Yeah, I can kind of see it in and out. It's hard to see it, man. It's you probably have like no. You probably have like no reception out there, I would imagine. There we go. There we go. All right. Looks like fun, man. I wish I would have went. Looks hot too. Yeah, yeah. Call later. Just call me later. All right, there we go. All that for that. You couldn't even see him. Yeah. I don't even know if I'll even bother putting the video of that up because it was so short and choppy. But yeah, he's on the scene there at Louder Than Life Festival. I wish I was there. Speaking of music, well, I've already mentioned I went to this concert, but to cap this off, I mentioned my band, The Morning Bird. We were on the radio actually the other day. He's like, I'll call you later. I hope you recorded that shit. I'll bring my headphones tomorrow. So, yeah, yeah. So at least he was kind of on a little bit. But yeah, Tim, hope you have a fun time. Anyways, yeah, my band, we were on the radio. I recorded it. I have something kind of rigged here where I can to kind of cap off the show. I guess I'll play the song. I mean, it's out there, so why not, right? I didn't ask permission, but whatever. I think it should be all right. We were going to do an episode or a little interview, me and our singer, Jeremy. We actually both went to that concert last night together. We talked so much. I wish I would have recorded it. That could have been a whole podcast on its own. 6 hours in the car. I mean, my goodness. But yeah, here's our song. It sounds kind of bad because it's a tape. I'm recording it off. I recorded it off a tape deck that I've had since I was a kid. But yeah, check out our song. This was us on the radio.
Hello and welcome back to Live and Local. This is the part of the week where we play a couple bands from the Northeast Ohio area. So let's hop right into it. Our first band tonight is The Morning Bird, a 4-piece band from Cleveland. They started back in 2018, and then they released their first EP the following year in 2019 titled Lonesome Leaving Sound. And they've also released like a bunch of singles since that EP dropped, so make sure to check that out. But when asked about the song that we had from them tonight, they said, quote, "It was born in the height of the pandemic when racial injustice was gaining more and more media attention. Seeing the events that took place with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd spurred a number of emotions. This was juxtaposed by the responses to the news that I had heard from many of my white friends and family members. Judgment Day is a call for action against that celebration and a denouncing of the racial injustice." So listen to the lyrics on this one. I think it really just speaks for itself. Kicking off Live and Local tonight is The Morning Bird with Judgment Day on 107.3 Alternative Cleveland.
Who made you the judge and jury? Bringing down the fire and fury. Bullets flying through the air. Not a black light, but you don't care. Coming down. I can't breathe, ringing in my ear. They never shone more clear. to be found. Judgment Day is coming down.
That was the Morning Bird with Judgment Day on 107.3 Alternative Cleveland. And for our second and final live and local band tonight, we've got Night Elm, who are pretty new. They're a 5-piece band that started just about a year ago, originally covering the Killers at a Halloween cover show, but decided they want to make their own stuff. Their goal was to put out some originals. And
So that band there, they're actually, they just mentioned, I'm not going to play their song, sorry. But I was in a band with their bass player, the Joe Joyce Band. I've talked about them. It was cool to share a spot with them on the radio. That sounded god-awful. Oh, playing that, like, I'll eventually play the real version of that. That was the radio, crinkly, tape deck recorded version of it. That sounded awful. Ugh. I don't even know if I'll post it. That sounded so bad. But yeah, I'll play the actual file one of these days on here from YouTube or whatever. I don't know. Well, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. Thanks again, Jonathan, Tim, everyone who contributed to this episode. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. Man, I feel like there's so much I didn't get to talk about, but this was more of a interview / kind of getting things up to speed. There's so many things I didn't talk about in this episode, but I'll eventually get to it. I got so much going on personally right now, but yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. So I will talk to you guys soon. In the meantime, drive safe. Hey, thanks again for joining us on Your Drive Home podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. And also don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. We will talk to you guys soon. Until then, drive safe.